Are you ready for another one? Yes? Okay, then let's make another mixed media masterboard from trash, in my case, from some leftover pieces from some die cutting projects. And let's then try, and I say try because I have never done this before, let's try to turn the pieces we can cut from this into some double pockets somehow. Hi, this is Luisa Heinzel with a really weird plan in my head. I have, as I said, never tried that out before, and with a really, at least for me, scary material on my desk here, and that's this napkin. I mean, this napkin is really beautiful, but I don't need these fishies in my journal. And if you know me, you know that I normally don't like napkins for several different reasons. But I thought, since the other two masterboards I have already made from this base here turned out so cool and I love the results so much, I want to try to include a really, for me, really unusual material into this kind of project. So perhaps you want to try that as well. A quick little note, just in case you are new here or you haven't seen the other videos, or perhaps you have been on holiday or wherever. There are some more videos about this on my channel. There's a playlist linked below this video where you can find them. I have already made two other masterboards from the leftover pieces from die cutting. So this is nothing else than something other people would throw into the trash can, but we are junk journalers. We don't throw something like this away. And we already made some page tabs. This is one of those from one of the other mixed media masterboards. Here are some more examples. This one here, for example, is one which has also a pocket and where this little photo is then hidden and this little boy is peeking through this little hole. I find that really cute. And we already also made some cards and some tags. So as you can see, my little container here is really full with these things we've made from the other masterboards. On these tags and also the cards, you can't see the masterboard at first glance, I would say, but here this turquoise piece is from that masterboard and I included that here in these little collages and I think these turned out really nice. And now I want to make some more things for my journal, and that's pockets. And I also want to use what I already have used for the other pieces, and that's parts of my typewriter ephemera pack, which you can find in my shop. So that is a printable, but you can of course also do this idea with any other kind of paper. But I thought I want to use these pockets and then later on the pieces from the masterboard. So if you want to craft along with me, then you can either of course take these pockets. The link to the ephemera pack is down below in the description box. Or what you also could do if you, for example, don't have a printer or you don't like typewriters or whatever reason that could be, you can just cut a pocket from a normal piece of paper. Yeah, that would also be possible. But my journal shall be typewriter themed. So yeah, I want to use this. And I also want to try to use some of these for my pockets. These are originally meant to use as belly bands, but where's my journal? Ah, here. These are a little bit too long for the pages of my journal. No matter if I use them like so or like so, they are obviously too long. The same is for the pockets. They are too wide for this journal. Why don't I print this smaller? Because I'm weird. Of course, you could take the ephemera pack, yeah, obviously, and print that smaller. But when I printed this and started making the other things, I haven't decided at that point that I want to use this journal to put all of these things in later. And when I then had decided for the journal and I had these here and I thought, ooh, they are a little bit too big, these pockets and also the belly bands, I thought, why don't we make something which goes around the page? I will not bend it yet because, you know, I don't know the proportion yet, but something like this, where then here is a pocket and there on the other page is a pocket, and then we could perhaps make another pocket here from the Mixed Media Masterboard. That's the plan. That's what I want to try. But before we can do that, we need to alter this. So, if you want to see how I made this, then please check out the first video of these masterboards. There I show you how I have built this from the leftovers from my die cutting pieces. And now I want to take the top layer of this napkin. Obviously, the colors don't really fit, but we already experienced that is no problem, because we will change this with some other mediums anyway. So we don't care about the colors we have here, also here on the masterboard itself, but I'm mainly talking about the napkin. Of course, you could take the white layer of the napkin as well, if you are scared about the colors you have. I mean, I don't even want to think about what happens when I glue this down here now, but well, let's try it, okay? I have absolutely no idea if that can work, but obviously with such a mixed media project, we can always take some paint, for example, and paint over this to change the color or whatever we want to do. We can take texture paste or, you know, what we have at hand to change the color. But I want mainly the texture this hopefully gives me, because with these things here, I have already a lot of layering on here. With my sewing, I have a lot of texture, and with the layering there also comes texture, you know what I mean. And I'm hoping that the napkin gives me something which is additionally cool somehow. So I want to, well, let's perhaps first do it like this, because I don't want to glue this on flat. I don't want the fishies and these shells and that stuff, but I want the texture from this. But at the same time, I don't want to have it too extremely textured, because I want that perhaps some of the sewing and some of the original texture from the die cutting pieces comes through as well. So I'm quickly going to glue this on here, and then I will dry that with my heat tool, so that we then can decide what we want to do next. And I thought, why don't we try to use some black texture paste today. I'm going to use the texture paste Black Opaque by Ranger and Tim Holtz, and I want to use this stencil. This has the number THS 178. It's by Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous. And ooh, is that the rest? Oh my goodness, okay. Let's see. And I thought, why does this always happen on camera? I have no idea. Well, I thought this stencil is good because it has so many open spaces, so that I can perhaps cover the most of the colors on here up already with the texture paste, because I don't need those colors. I need, you know, some of that. That's why I added here really, really thin, not only because my jar is empty, but also because I want that we can still see some of this, but, you know, not so much. And I don't want to see these fishies, yeah? I mean, would there be a problem with typewriters and fish? No, definitely not, but I want the focus in the journal on the typewriters and also those butterflies, which are also part of that ephemera pack. And because of that, I want to, yeah, at least cover the eyes of the fish. I mean, when I see some parts of those, I will not run away or throw my journal out of the window, but, you know. Shall we throw something on here before we dry this? And if yes, what? By coincidence, I have an empty brushed corduroy oxide spray here. There's nearly nothing left in here. So I spray a little bit of water in here. Perhaps we can get the very rest out of this and just get the tiniest bit of interest here. Let's see what happens. Nothing. That is not so much. Come out, please. Okay, that's not working. Okay, so let's perhaps spritz a little more water. And let's then hope that when I dry this now, we get a little bit of an oxidation. I would say, in general, these colors already fit really well. But I was just thinking, I am totally in love with this turquoise and this black and the gray. What if we include some purple? I have, and I'm really scared, Villainous Potion oxide spray here. The spray stain. Then I have some mica stain spray. This is called Hocus Pocus. I think that fits really well to Villainous Potion. And then I have something I have never used before, and that's this Dilutions ink spray. I was gifted this pretty long time ago, and I have never used it, so I thought, why don't we try it here? And I'm not so scared because of the purple itself. I mean, I love this color, but I am scared because of the combination with the other colors. Ooh, but that could work. Let's see. So then let's try this. What are you? Are you permanent? Are you water reactivatable? What are you? I can't even read this. This is so small. Ooh! Okay. Ooh, that is a really nice color. Can we please quickly... I'm so sorry. Whoa. I mean, this is a pretty cheap watercolor paper, but how amazing does this look? I mean, will it dry like this? I mean, then we could eat... Ooh, then we... Oh, wait, what is this? I will quickly grab a fresh of these papers, because now I have one of these bulb, light bulb moments. Wait, give me a second, please. So here I'm back. This will make sense in a second, hopefully, because I really enjoy how this dries. Look, it has even different colors. There's some blue, some lighter purple, some darker purple. That is really interesting. And this additional idea has to do with the additional idea I had a second ago. I want to try... Oh, no, okay. But that's not so important. Let's just make some circles here with the spray. And I don't know if that is now because of this paper that it dries like this, or if it's the feature of this spray. I have no idea. I don't have any knowledge about this spray, but I need to make some experiments with that, definitely. So I will let this dry completely, exactly like it is, and then we can go on with this. I want to add some of the Hocus Pocus mica spray here, because then we will see the mica on the black paste. Where is the necessity of having this turquoise here now? I don't know. I will cover it up. That drives me crazy when there's this little piece of turquoise. So then I'm going to dry this again. This texture is absolutely gorgeous. I'm so in love with this. I mean, this is nearly too much texture paste when I look at it now, but that is also an experience, isn't it? When you do something like this for the first time and then you see it, and you know, you can then reflect this and do things differently for the next mixed media masterboards in this case. Because look here, there I can see still the sewing and also the texture of the napkin. Can you see that? And then on the left and the right of that, the pattern of the stencil is starting. Here there's like only the pattern of the stencil, but what I really like is that you here, can you see this little thing? There you can see the napkin through the stenciling, because we did the texture paste in such a thin layer, and I really, really enjoy these tiny details. Also here, this thing, there you can clearly see that that is from the paper and not from the texture paste, and I really like that. But if I would do this another time, I would definitely use less texture paste, meaning, no, not less texture paste, but I would not stencil in so many areas, but only in a few spots and leave the rest like it was before, because that makes probably the even more interesting contrast. But I really like this. Before we go on with this and before we bring out the pattern of this even more, I want to do something else. I want to take my journal, and then I want to take these pockets. We take the journal or a loose journal page, whatever you have, and then we look how we want to place this. I will take a neutral page because here this irritates me. We will take a neutral page where nothing else is, but where we can see the size of the page. And then I look where the page ends. I mean, it doesn't matter if this piece will go to this page later, but I just want to have the height of the page. And then I just fold this, because then I know when I have it like so and I put it here like so, this will fit to the page. So this gives me the length of the rest. Yeah, do you know what I mean? The same with these. I think here I will fold it here in the middle of this notch, so that that is pretty symmetric. Is that important? No, it's just my freak, I guess. So that we then can take this as well and put it around the corner of a page, or is, no, not the corner, you know, that one part is here and the other part is here. Is it then around the corner? I don't know. How can we do it here? Let's just punch a second notch here, and I will quickly repunch this because I just see that I have cut that totally weird, so that we then can now take this and fold this in half, so that this then can go around the page here like so as well. I will quickly do that for the other pockets as well. And what if we then take this, and now my idea with these circles comes in. Oh my goodness, look how wonderfully these have dried. I mean, that is a masterpiece. Holy cow. Oh, okay. So then let's take this, and I have this, you know, folded, and I will now punch a circle out from here, so that we then have a hole in the pocket. So let's then dry this first completely. So then I want to punch this out, but somehow I need to make sure that I can see this here, because that is the most interesting part of this whole thing, and the punch is too small, or the circle is too the sprayed circle is too big. Why do I need to punch that? I have absolutely no idea. That is completely stupid, because let's just do it like so. Let's just put it behind here so that we then can easily decide where we want to put it. And now, can you see what my intention was? I wanted to have this cool thing here visible there. It would be, I think, even more beautiful if we had sprayed this in a smaller scale. But it is what it is now. Can you please come out, you glue? Oh, holy cow. Thank you. Hey. I'm really sorry. So now, let's glue this on here. Then, let's take another of these. And this one is a little smaller, so I have really big hopes that we can see more of that in this little window. Okay, let's glue that there. I will quickly do the same thing for this pocket as well, so then this can dry here on the side. And now we have these circles. So what do we have to do now to be able to take these, make more pockets from this, and include these here, so that we then later on, you know, can combine that somehow? I thought originally, before these circles came into this game, that we could take this and make another piece here like so, and then have that over the other pocket. I mean, it would then be, wait, I'm so sorry, you can't understand that. I wouldn't understand it myself if I would hear it. So let's see if this is here like so later. Yeah, so let's take a neutral page so that we are not confused about with the background there. So if this was here like so, and then a piece of this would be here as a second pocket, how big would that need to be? Perhaps approximately like this. Am I really cutting this without my paper trimmer now? Obviously. Holy cow. I'm proud. We could then put this here, make a little notch here, and can we then still include this? If it was like so, that looks, to be honest, that looks better than I thought. Then we could just add something tiny here as a little focal point. But perhaps it's also not so nice when you have this piece which came from here and you put it here. That looks like someone couldn't finish the puzzle correctly. Let's see how that looks if we take one of the others. This circle obviously comes from one of the other pockets, and it doesn't have the same imagery like here. I think that is way more interesting. Or even like this. I'm not so sure yet if that is really good, because then we totally lose this wonderful circle. Not totally, but yeah, a lot of that is covered up. And I want to bring out the pattern here a little bit more. I'm going to use some gilding wax. This one is by Craft Emotions, even if this is in this unusual jar. I mean, Craft Emotions normally has these jars I've mixed 2 colors of this metallic paste here. How is it called? Wax paste metallic. And because of the volume, I have put it into that jar, because I've used 2 of the smaller jars to make the mixture. And yeah, that's why it looks so weird and why it's not in the original jar. But I want to put this on here. With that I can also not ink, because this is not ink but wax, the edges. Is it then waxing the edges? I have no idea. But this is what it looks then. And that fits really well. Okay, so then, before I forget that, I will take these and go to my sewing machine so that I can sew around the circles here. So here I'm back. I just went around the circles a few times with a running stitch. And now I'm missing gold on these. So I thought we could take this edding here. I want to ink these with some scorched timber distress ink. And then we should probably decide for the page where this shall go later. Somehow I have the feeling that it doesn't even need this circle. It's nice like this, with only something tiny here, like a little butterfly or so. Because then, oh, can you hear my hands on my forehead? Oh, now I know what I need to do. Where is my, look. Watch the magic happen. I mean, what is this? We wanted to have the focus on this circle because we just discovered that this is awesome. So what do we need to do? That is so easy, Louisa. We need to take this thing again, and then we need to wait. Don't do it wrong now. We need to punch here. Ugh! Oh my goodness. Hoping that we don't destroy our punch. Look. That is what we want. Now we have the full circle, and if we now imagine something here, that was the whole time where I thought, what the heck is going wrong here? Imagine, well, probably not in this color, but imagine we had a focal point which is also way smaller than this, because, well, this is perhaps a little bit big. Look, you know, if this was a little bit smaller, then I don't have something smaller at hand at the moment. But imagine here was something small. Then the circle would be still a full circle. That is what we are going to do. Okay, so since we know that, what do we now need to do? When we want that this is a pocket as well, how do we need to glue that down? And I want stenciling in the background with the smaller version of this stencil. There should be that stencil in here in, I'm so organized, in a smaller scale. So this is THMS 59. Which color do we now take to for the stenciling here? Shabby Shutters. comes out pretty yellowish on this paper, but I would say that is a good match. I really like that. Perhaps old paper would have been an even better choice. Let's try to put the stencil just like so, and just add a second layer in the other direction over this. Oh my goodness, my ink pad is nearly empty. So this is now old paper oxide ink, or at least the rest from my ink pad. Oh. Yeah, but that is good. That is pretty good. If the focal point here would be this color, then I think I will like it. So that I can risk to glue this down now. But what I'm going to do is, since I haven't done anything on this page, I will put my glue only to this part of the pocket now and leave the other part loose for the moment. Because then later on I can still decorate the other page and then just glue this little flap down so that it then will be a pocket. So then here, this is now glued here, here and here, so that we can have this top-loaded pocket here. And then I think we will make something really cool. We will glue this down here and here, so then that should work. Yeah, then that is like a tuck spot. Then this is really confusing. We need this, and then we need a second piece of this, because I want to make another one of these. You could even leave it like so without this notch we made there. This could work like it is as well, I think. Okay, so I will take this and store this in my ephemera storage. So perhaps you have seen that I have again taken my tiny cabinet here to store all of my finished things, because I don't want to glue this down now, because, you know, I have shown you how I made this here and how I glue it, and it would be totally boring if I now would take the same thing and do that again. So that will go into that little drawer. Now I want to see if I can perhaps do something with these circles. What if we change our mind again and cut this in half, so that we have a tiny pocket which we could then put on here. And then I'm going to sew this pocket on here with my sewing machine. What if we then cut out a circle from this so that we can put that inside, and we would have another circle from this material left, which we can then use somewhere else. So I'm going to take this, and where's my tape? I will take some tape. What I also have here still on my desk are these letters, and I thought we could perhaps put something here that needs to be a short word. Let's try you. Why not? I mean, if you would write a letter with a typewriter, you would probably have the word you somewhere as well, wouldn't you? But it's a little bit invisible, isn't it? I have some of my snippets here. I'm thinking about this color because we have a similar color on the other pieces. What about something like this? Let's take this. Glue this here. What am I doing? I'm so sorry. Glue this here. I really like this combination of this snippet and the typewriter pattern here in the background. A really nice contrast. So that means we can then have this as a pocket as well. Put that in one of the other signatures. Ooh, perhaps even here. It's really hard for me, to be honest, to do this on camera now, because normally if I wouldn't film now, I would first make all of these pockets and then later on decide where to put them on which page. Also because of the decoration of the background. I mean, here, if I would put it here, I would probably leave the background like it is. This is also from one of my printables and I really like this combination. But if I would decide that the pocket would need to go here because, you know, I want it here, then I would definitely do something with the background first. So can you forgive me if I hold it here like so? And can you then please imagine that there was glue and I can later on glue that down when I have decided where I want to put it. I mean, I think that is easy to imagine, isn't it? Because now this is a pocket, obviously, so that we can then take something and put that in here like so. Probably not this thing. And depending on how we glue it then, if we glue it like so, we have a pocket here as well. If we glue it like so, we have a pocket here. So then this belly band screams that we somehow take these, or even this, take some of the wax. The other day, and that is really, please believe me, that is coincidence, I made this. This is done with a stencil, some metallic texture paste, embossing glaze and embossing powder. That this color fits so well is coincidence. And it was just laying over there, so I thought perhaps we can get with this piece this color combination of the turquoise and the purple. So let's take this, let's put glue on here. And since this is embossing glaze on the texture paste, I will take this and wait until the glue has grabbed. So it's a few minutes later. That feels very good. So what was the plan? We wanted to have this here We could even think about oh, let's make in a little illusion. What do we think about this? Look, then it looks like this and this was a full circle. I will quickly take this to my sewing machine and sew along here. I also have taken out some of my moths here. I was busy cutting moths. So let's see if we perhaps can already decide for something which could go on here. I also have some of these transparent butterflies here from one of the last videos. These are printed on overhead transparency, and these numbers you can see here, they are stamped. So let's take a piece of something. Let's then, why am I doing this on the page? I mean, I can also just do it here on the table. Let's just glue this, then this, then some feelers, then the piece of something, and last but not least this layer. And let's staple in here, even if the glue would hold it as well, but with stapling this, it gets pressed down in the center here, and this material, this lace, is pretty thick, and with the staple we get a little more dimension, and this comes automatically up a little bit, and I really like that. And I would say that's it. That's our little belly band. And of course you could also turn this into a pocket. Yeah, if you take this and you put your glue here and here, and here it's automatically closed because this goes to the other page, then it would be a pocket from here. It can happen that I will glue it down like that perhaps later, but for the moment I want to just stare at it and be happy that I have it. So then the last one I want to make is this, even if I have this here also left, but I also want to pay attention that this video doesn't get too long. I always have problems with that, as you probably know. Here I want to do something which is more to this original idea. Perhaps we shouldn't take this, but instead this. Then we could just tear it here. And then we could put that around the corner like so. Because I find this idea really interesting when you flip through the journal and see this, and then you flip around and see, oh, here's another pocket. I really like that. This would also be a great spot for a page tab. So I think here I will just take my wax to bring out the pattern and make it cohesive with the other things. I find this really, really beautiful together. So I will just take this and sew along here with my sewing machine. And then I really like this. I mean, this is pretty simple, yes, but I really like this, especially because of this fragment-ish look of the masterboard here. I think that is really interesting. And then now we could again glue this here, here, and here, so that we have a pocket from here, and this little thing is obviously also a pocket. So then, what do we have? We have a cool piece left, which we can use for something else. We have this little piece left, which we can use for something else and turn it into another pocket. Then we have this, where we can, of course, still decide what we want to do on the other part, but even if we would leave it like this, it would be nice, I think. Then we have our belly band / pocket if we would glue it here completely somehow. Oh, I love these circles here. That is really cool. And then we have this. Why, I mean, why haven't I put gilding wax to this? Because we can also do it later. And it can wreck our nerves? Okay. That is a weird argument, but it is an argument. Okay. Now it looks finished, doesn't it? It's probably because it is finished now. And then we have the one we have already glued down here. And here I also want to think about a focal point, but something, perhaps I need to think about that, which is attached to the piece, which will go into this tuck spot, so that that then functions like a little tab or so, but I need to think about that and how I can manage that. So I'm really hoping that you like this, and perhaps you could find some ideas with this video for your own pockets and your own mixed media masterboards. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to leave a comment, and I will do my best to answer the questions as soon as possible. And I hope you have a really, really great and creative day. See you the next time. Bye bye.